Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're either catching me on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44, or my Facebook page, True Divine 44. Any likes, shares, subscriptions, comments, greatly appreciated on either or both of those. Much love to all of you who've done that so far. So I'm trying to get the general tarot readings out on time. So I'm starting a bit earlier. So this one is for Pisces, and again it's a general tarot reading, so take note of that. Some of it might resonate, some of it might not. It might all resonate, it might all not, depending on how I'm connecting with you or not connecting with you at the time. But please keep calling back to hear more, because you never know when it's going to connect. So for Pisces, it's an awesome reading for March the 2020. Pisces have, again, a lot of the signs have had a tough time. Everybody's been having a tough time, as well as blissful times. But Pisces, I've had personal experience of seeing the journey of a Pisces very close to me, and this reading is very, it's speaking of them very much so. So this is very meaningful to me, that it's a fabulous reading, and you're looking forward to a great time in March 2020. So the first card for the first week of March, and remember, time, what is it? It's a construct we've made, so things might merge and blend and be slightly different timing, but it still gives you an idea. So the first card for the first week of March is the Hangman. Again, I've got a note, I did Aries just before, and Aries had very similar cards come out, but a lot of the similar cards in the Aries reading were reversed, or the slightly less bright, enjoyable side of the cards. So but the same cards have come out for Pisces, but in the right position. So that's interesting to note. So the first card being the Hangman in his rightful position. He's hanging here, he's chilling here, he's comfortable here. There's no distractions. He's even got his hands behind his back. Taking the time to, before any action, to use that wisdom, to have that inner guidance, to use that intuition, to see things from a completely different perspective, to see things through different lenses, through the lens of others who you care about, their opinion, through the lens of yourself, but maybe in a very different attitude, even through the lenses of the slightly different planets. Sometimes it's interesting to look at what the planets are doing, because that does affect us. So it reflects within us, it reflects within our chakra system. So sometimes it's good to sort of figure out what planet stands for what, and look at the things that you're wanting to maybe change, continue, or learn about through that lens, through the lens of the planet. That's interesting to do, and it's a very powerful thing. So seeing things from that different perspective, seeing the bigger picture, not being triggered at all by anything, hanging here, chilled, relaxed, a step back from the situations that maybe you're wanting to look at, from the relationships that you're wanting to look at, not in a nasty way, not in a solemn way, in a way of, I'm enjoying seeing this different perspective, I'm enjoying seeing this thing, this someone, this situation through this different lens. It's an enjoyable process if you let it be. So really, the clarifying card being the Emperor. So taking authority over the situations, relationships, work, projects in your life, knowing that ultimately you can plot this way, you can see this different way, you can see this different perspective through the lens of the Emperor, the daddy of the universe, the authority figure, a very fatherly type figure, a divine masculine figure. So a lot about action, but this guy is so full of wisdom that it's, again, with this card, it's action at the right time with the right people. Really knowing when to act and when not to act, having the wisdom to do so. A lot of this might be pertinent to Pisces, if this is resonating with you, to do with law. There might be something that some of you are in a situation that you would like to get out of, and you maybe through these lenses see this see a loophole, see a way out of this situation, or somebody comes in to help you regarding law and things, situations that involve the law, and helps you see this loophole, helps you see this different way of getting around and freeing yourself from this. So that's really interesting for a lot of Pisces out there that might be involved in all of this. A very powerful combination. This is a divine masculine. He's a powerful, authoritarian, but fair. And again, he sees the whole process. He sees it from way up in the universe, and can see the ramifications or the blessings for every and each action. So very strategic here in the first week of March. The second card speaks of you making the right decisions. You're seeing things in a different way because it's the Death card, a card of transformation. This card is so misunderstood by many, but it's a beautiful process. It's the end of what has been a long process, a birthing of a new person, literally like a snake shedding its skin, and then because it's growing, this is spiritual growth. This is a greater knowing state. This transformation can sometimes be uncomfortable, and it can sometimes be awesome. But either way, the end result in this reading, this end result is awesome for you. You really step into some skills, step into some knowings that you've maybe not been brave enough to step into, or didn't even know that you were capable of before this process. So for the second week of March, there's this transformational period. Allow that to happen. Allow that dead skin, that spiritual dead skin, to shed from you so you can shine bigger and brighter. The clarifying card for this second week of March is the Three of Cups. Again, very similar cards to Aries, but in different positions. So this merriment, this bliss, this contentment, this trinity within the self, I feel, for this reading. It's this growth has caused you to be in such alignment that you can see the bigger picture, you can see through illusions better. Your intuition is really on point. You're really learning how to grow that intuition and live by that intuition, rather than just using your two eyes and brain, which can be quite triggery. You're using your third eye, you're using your intuition, and that's part of this transformation process for a lot of Pisces, coming into your own, stepping into your own skill set. Which has got a lot to do with psychic type knowings, psychic type abilities, seeing the more that there is to life than you did before. Again, finding tribe, this also reflects, that with this growth, you're birthed into a new person, which, yes, you have the aspects of the old that you wanted to cling on to, but often we find a different group of friends, we find a different relationship, a different person that understands us more when we've moved up to this level. So, you're finding people that you can truly connect with at the level that you've grown to. I hope that made sense. The third card for the third week of March is the Queen of Wands. Again, very similar to Aries, but in different positions. So, she has this intuition. It's all about intuition for your Pisces and learning how to use them. And in the third week, after that transformational period, you really are starting to enjoy this new skill set that you have. Well, maybe an old skill set that you've accepted, that you're not afraid to accept and speak of and act in as you were before. Really guided by intuition. This lady is a happy lady. She finds contentment in the present moments. She's able to show her love for things in the present moments. She's a timeless queen. She doesn't sort of worry too much about the past. She doesn't worry too much about the future. She's in the present, and she shares her love and compassion in the present. She's got this guiding black cat here on the ground. She's got her legs open because she's very sensual. She has her sensual. She knows how to be a feminine. This is a divine feminine card. And whether you're male or female, for the females, it's learning how to be, and that we're allowed to be feminine. There's been a lot of attack on the feminine, either, you know, perceived holding the feminine down, or at the same time seemingly exalting the feminine by all of these movements that are going on, you know, for ladies to break free and be freer, which actually again has been another psyops to you know, women wanting to be more like men, rather than women allowing themselves to exalt themselves in their own divine feminine nature, in their own sensual nature. You know, there's bonuses to each gender, and so the bonuses is that we can learn to accept those, we can learn to use those. That's part of our skill set, to be open, to be sensual, to be compassionate, to be passionate about the present moment. And that's where this queen is. Sorry, that was a big spiel, but it's just to describe that a lot of Pisces, I feel, might have, you know, gone way off trying to be a part of exalting the feminine, be a part of releasing some of those limitations that have been put on the feminine, and have maybe forgotten that actually by doing so too far without being balanced about it, it cuts off the feminine aspects that are part of a woman's power, part of a woman's skill set, part of a woman's being, you know, to be this passionate, open and compassionate being, an intuitive being. Now, if you're a male Pisces, for you, I would say that this is also very pertinent, in that because there's been such fights here, there and everywhere for this gender and that gender, and that, you know, men have also been limited to show their divine feminine side, to be able to be open, to be able to say that they're acting on their intuition, to be able to be compassionate, gentle, to be free to cry if they need to cry, whilst also maintaining that masculine side of self. You can balance it out and dip into this divine feminine, whilst also maintaining nothing has to be stolen from you. You can balance it all out. Particularly a Pisces, or some Pisces that are in partnerships. If you're a male, your partner will really enjoy this more gentle, intuitive side of you, where you feel free to talk. You give yourself permission to speak about your feelings, to speak about how you feel about them. You know, so really it's to not throw the baby out with the bathwater on either side, but to enjoy and exalt the natural states, the natural gifts that both genders have been given, and that actually both genders enjoy to an extent within the divine feminine and divine masculine. So just to release that, and to know that it's okay on both sides, to show this open, compassionate, sensual self. The clarifying card for that is the Six of Cups. You know, so enjoying this moment of looking back to the past, and enjoying, reminiscing of happy times, of good times, and then also enjoying, because of this Death card and this Three of Cups, you know, enjoying to look back on the growth period, to where times where even the darker times when you said, why is this happening? I wish this wasn't happening. Because you've gone through this process without losing self, and you've continued to work on self, and you've had that transformational period. You're now looking back at these times and think, thank goodness this happened. Even if you don't like it still, thank goodness that this happened, because look where I am now. Look at how much I've grown. If I hadn't been challenged that way, I don't know if I would have grown this much. I don't know if I would be this relaxed, this peaceful, this happy, and this open to the possibilities of life in the present moment. So there's a real reflective time here as well. And in this Queen's energy, it's a very relaxed way of looking back at the past. You're not getting upset, you're not getting triggered, you're seeing the good in everything, even the darker times. The fourth card being for the fourth week of March 2020, again very similar to Aries, this Ace of Pentacles. this new beginning, this seed, this creativity, this opportunities opening up to you, Pisces, because of the growth you've been doing, because of the inner work that you've been doing. You've called this in for yourself. The work that you've done has called this in. So, you know, this pentacle here is in this hand, and it's in the position of the sun, and it looks like a sun, which means harvest. It means abundance. It means happiness. It means contentment. It means your material needs being met. Just as the sun grows the seeds, makes the crops grow. It's much easier to work when it's sunny, when you're out in the sun. You know, it helps our bones. You know, all of the things that the sun does, this pentacle is represented to be that sun in your life. So that's a real good promise that this opportunity is there for you to grasp, to hold on to, and, you know, really work on this time to build on this time of abundance, this opportunity time, this gift. All about growth and letting go. It's so beautiful, Pisces. Such work has been put into this, because the clarifying card for this Ace of Pentacles is this Six of Swords. So this real now this new seed, this new creativity, this new process to help sustain you materialistic wise, has really, you know, given you the opportunity in the Six of Swords to let go. Let go of things that didn't serve you or don't serve you, to move forward. There's real healing in this card. Again, more healing, more transformation in this card, because you're focused now on this opportunity, this new opportunity. And it's so awesome that if this resonates with you, Pisces, you're not carrying that over into this new opportunity. You're not carrying any baggage. Your mind is free. Your spirit is free. Your body is free to move on and move forward with this new opportunity here, which is awesome. On the bottom of the deck of the first deck is the underlying energy. The reason I say this is because for me, when I read, this is sort of the underlying energy of all of the reading. So there's this Five of Cups. Again, I'm sure this was in Aries reading. Through this reading here, this transformational reading, you can see that, you know, where you may have started off like this in February, you know, forgetting to look at what is there, what opportunities are there for you to take up, focusing on things that have gone wrong, maybe things that didn't work instead. So that underlying energy is there, but during the process of this reading, you can see the transformation of this. So if you picture this guy here who's all in dark and very solemn, has his shoulders tensed up and clenched and his head down, you know, so is both in physical discomfort because of his stance. Of course, if you have your shoulders hunched like this for a long time, focusing on one thing and your head down, you're going to get an achy neck. You're going to get a tenseness in your shoulders, which you might have been experiencing in February. If you picture him holding his head up high, releasing those shoulders, taking a deep breath and turning and seeing that he has these two cups to go on with, to go in this direction, this transformational period in your life in March 2020. On the bottom of the other deck is the Sun card. So when you look at this pentacle, the way I described that this is representing the sun, and then you have the underlying energy of the sun, I mean, my goodness, that means, you know, you build on this time, go for it, make decisions, start projects, go for whatever you've been dreaming about going for, make connections. This is joy, bliss, material sustainability, abundance. Because, you know, when the sun is out, there's an abundance of happiness, abundance of physical things that grow, that sustain you. So it's real, you know, the universe is shining back to you with all of the work that you've been putting in these strong symbols here of two suns. So, you know, it's a fabulous reading, Pisces. I'm over the moon for you. It's not without the work that you've put in. You've called this in. You have done this for yourself. You and you alone have, of course we have help along the way, but you have called this in. This is your karma because of the work that you've been putting into self, which is the most important thing of all. So if you would like a private reading from me, you can always contact me either with the contact details above or below, depending on where you're watching this. For any energy work, again, use those contact details. Just put in the heading in capitals, reading, energy work. If you're local to me, obviously there's massage on offer. We're building on the website. It's been a bit of a nightmare. I don't like techie stuff, so it's getting there. So call in again and see what we're doing on the website. It will get better, I'm sure. What else? Oh yeah, you can contact me on Messenger on Facebook if you like. Only put I don't answer to all messages. I get a lot of messages, but if you put the heading just in capital letters, reading or energy work, then I'll know to answer it. I'll know that you're a client that wants to work with me, and I'll get to you really quickly. Until then, be balanced and be whole as always, and much love. Love you all. Mwah.